So with my YouTube channel, there's an infinite amount of things I can do. Whether that's comedy or motivational videos, animating fan fiction, milking a certain boxing event arguably for a little longer than I should have. Oops. I've made a lot of different types of videos, but at the base of it all, my goal is to always be honest and transparent. And I think that's part of why we've seen so much growth this year, because this isn't something that's typically done on YouTube. It's much safer to hide behind a mask, especially as an animator. I could be anything. I could be a dragon right now, and Wilfer could be a pirate riding on my back, and we'd fly together into the setting sun, seeking untold treasures and everlasting friendship. But instead, I'm out here like, bruh, I'm just a guy. 1 million subscribers is nice, but at the end of the day, I look in the mirror and question the meaning of life like everybody else. I don't know if everybody wants to be famous, but I think everybody's at the very least intrigued with the idea of having fame. To some extent, everybody wants attention and validation. And I've talked about this in videos before, but now I've got a much larger audience, and I think I have a responsibility to showcase what happens after you get the spotlight. And in order to do that, let us go back in time a little bit and look at what I was like back when I was a wee little baby boy. I think most animators are introverted by definition. Otherwise, you wouldn't be spending that much time animating or drawing by yourself. Of course, there are exceptions, but statistically speaking, most animators have to be introverted in order to develop the skills that make them good animators. As a kid, I was always isolated, drawing on some piece of paper that nobody was even allowed to glance at. But while most introverted kids are typically nice and well-behaved, I was a demon child. I was like young Voldemort. Hey there, wanna come play with us? I can tell that snake to wrap around your neck and snap you like a twig if I wanted to. Mommy! I was incredibly shy and quiet, but I also had a giant ego. Now, of course, as I grew up, I learned how to balance these two in a healthy way. I think sometimes it's okay to listen to your ego because otherwise you'll never dare to aspire to become anything. But you need to hold it on a very tight leash, because if you don't keep that monster in check, it's gonna eat you alive. So nowadays, I feel like I have a pretty steady grip on my ego, but introversion is still very much rooted in my personality. This means I want to be in the spotlight, but at the same time, I'm terrified of the spotlight. So when a video of mine got on the trending page for the first time, on one hand I was like, oh yeah boy, it's happening. And on the other hand I was like, oh no, this is too much. I don't know how to deal with this. I'm not even kidding. The overwhelming wave of attention made me nauseous. Now I can't speak for other people. I can only talk about my experience, but because this is such an obscure topic that's rarely talked about, I think it's an important conversation to have, which is why I'm pulling back the curtain by myself. Take a look. When you look up to someone who seemingly has it all figured out, you're tempted to think that their life is perfect now. They've made it. But the reality is making it opens up a lot of new challenges that you may not be prepared for. For example, in a very practical sense, there's legal ramifications to making money from YouTube, which nobody warns you about. You need to talk to lawyers and accountants and government people who don't even know what YouTube is, but they're still gonna take a chunk out of your ad revenue. And if you're not okay with that, you go to jail. Like, for real. So you need to learn how to navigate all of this when all you wanted to do in the first place was just sit in your room and make videos. But that's just one practical example. Something that's a lot more concerning is how the attention you're getting affects your personality. And of course, in a perfect world, you would stay humble, stay focused, and keep doing what you're good at. But the reality is, the spotlight will affect you in some capacity no matter who you are. And it's how you deal with that in the long term that defines you. On the flip side of that, people will start treating you differently when they know that you're big on YouTube. Even old friends start talking to you differently. And it creates this weird sense of paranoia that never goes away. You inevitably start to question everybody's motivation for talking to you. Are they interested in me as a person, or do they want something from me? Sir, it's $7.99. Are you gonna pay for this or not? So you have to balance that while at the same time realizing you now have a responsibility towards your new audience. You have to learn how to juggle all of these balls, yes, I said balls, while being a good role model to the kids who watch your content, but at the same time be entertaining enough for the adults who watch your content, all the while not letting any of that pressure take away the enjoyment you get from making the content. And this becomes 1,000 times harder when there's a hungry algorithm who will punish you if you're not uploading consistently. Over time, this can suck out all the enjoyment out of your creative process. You start feeling less and less inspired because there's a guy with a whip standing behind you expectantly. Listen, man, I'm not feeling it right now. Okay, it's fine. I'll have a new video up by Sunday. Just please don't hurt me. I started noticing all of these elements more and more over the past few months, and I could have kept pushing it until I snapped. But I saw a tweet by someone, I don't remember who it was, but it said, take a break before you need it. So you may have noticed right after I hit 1 million subscribers, when it was the perfect moment to keep pumping out content and use the momentum I had gained, it was right then that I took a month off. I disappeared for a month, which in YouTube time is like 10 years. At the peak of my YouTube career so far, knowing full well it's gonna hurt my channel, I decided I needed some time for myself, to let everything cool down for a bit and come back with a stronger perspective of what the heck I'm doing here. Wilfred didn't give a shit, by the way. He was born for the spotlight. I'm like Doctor Strange in that monastery before he got his powers, and he's the ancient bald chick. I'm like, teach me. And he's like, I said teach me, not punch the ghost out of me. Are you gonna put me back or... So if there's a takeaway from this video, for the fans, I think it's important to realize how much pressure comes with creating the content you enjoy, especially when all the responsibility falls on a single person. And for the creators, it's important to know that in this giant race for views and numbers, keeping up with all the responsibilities and commitments you now have, it's okay to take a step back sometimes. When it comes down to it, your mental health is more important than your sub count. It's okay to take some time off and disconnect from everything from time to time, because then you'll be able to come back with your batteries fully charged, ready to keep pursuing your passion and to give the fans what they've grown to love from watching your content. Thank you for your attention, and I will see you in the next video.